Welcome, fans. It is that time to go over the greatest moment in the history of sports, the overreaction after day one of the NBA basketball season. So let me start off by telling you who is going to win the NBA World Championships. I don't even know what it's called, actually, honestly. Sorry about that. Obviously, in the West, we're going to have the San Antonio Spurs against the Utah Jazz based on just the difference in scoring and the way the Jazz dominated the Clippers and the way the Spurs dominated the Mavericks. So clearly, those two teams are destined for each other. But that's all right, because in the Eastern Conference, we have the Toronto Raptors facing off against the Charlotte Bobcats. Bobcats. Hornets? Charlotte Hornets. That's right. Your Charlotte Hornets and your Toronto Raptors are going to be facing off in the Eastern Championship. It's going to be an epic battle of what? What is going on? Scrap that. Let's move on to MVP. Clearly, the front runners for MVP are Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic had 43 points last night, nearly had a triple-double, and by last night, I mean the night before, because every night blends together when you're this early on in the NBA season. Also, Anthony Edwards, who had 41 points, Tyrese Maxey, who had 40 points, Victor Wembanyama, who was top 5 for points per game, which is just one game in, by the way, and rebounds per game, which is also just one game in, by the way. He is your front runner for MVP. In fact, during the broadcast last night against the Mavericks, they talked about how he was going to have an MVP caliber season, and he put up 40 points and 15 rebounds and blocked a whole bunch of shots. How many? How many, you ask? I don't know, because he's not in the top 5, and I only speak top 5. Speaking of top 5, you have got a battle for Defensive Player of the Year already in the making. Zion Williamson had 5 steals last night to pace everybody in the league. And Jaren Jackson had 6 blocks. Who will win Defensive Player of the Year? Speaking of Defensive Player of the Year, I know who won't win Defensive Player of the Year. Cedric Howard. That's all I'm saying. Cedric Howard will not win Defensive Player of the Year. Why? Because he doesn't play enough. That's what I'm going with. But he was 100% last night in shooting, which is absolutely incredible and mind-boggling, especially when you consider that this dude shot so many shots last night. So many shots. How many shots, you ask? 7. And he made them all. 7 shots, made them all. That's not bad. That's actually kind of good. It's pretty impressive. And for those of you who don't know who Cedric Howard is, he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies. Pick him up on your fantasy teams today. All right, speaking of fantasy teams, for those of you that drafted Cooper Flagg, I apologize. I never said to draft Cooper Flagg number 1 overall, but somebody did draft him number 1 overall. You had to know that. He's 18 years old. If you're in a dynasty league, you want Cooper Flagg. You need Cooper Flagg. But he's not going to really do anything for you this year because he's only 18 years old. That's it. 18. But you know what rookie is absolutely on fire? VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe, and he's legit. Here's how I know he's legit. He took 26 shots last night. So Coward, 100% on 7 shots. VJ Edgecombe, 50% on 26 shots. 50%. That's not bad. It's not terrible. And he put up 34 actual points. 34 actual points. He's a rookie. And right now he is absolutely the front runner for Rookie of the Year. And that is your overreaction for today. Congratulations, the NBA season has begun, and clearly there are front runners and clearly there are losers. Are you a front runner or are you a loser?